afternoon or evening. Yo, how are you doing? I am exhausted. So I'm so happy to have a big old I definitely need this big old cup of coffee. Does the background music get more intense towards the release? Probably. What I need to figure out is how I separate background music from the recorded VOD, so I can start playing copyrighted music and make it more intense. UnityCoder.com. Thank you for the bits. You're back on the list? Oh, but it's like all cut off. That's not right. Let me fix that. Let me fix that for you. Nope, that's not it. Oh. Well, it looks better on the other screen. I don't know why it's cut off here. I can't quite... Let's see if I go... Here, is it on this one? Yeah, I'm not going to play with OBS today. That's just going to be a distraction. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing all right. I always appreciate that you are lurking and helping me get my view count up so people can see my stream. I think I should probably do a couple of things before we really begin. One, maybe we put some time on the timer. Two, maybe I open my stream up on my phone so we have a view count of 2. That seems to work. I don't know if that's legal or not. It doesn't really feel like view botting. This is the wrong browser. I was a little bit late today, and it's simply because Thursdays are freaking hard. I got hockey. I play hockey Wednesday night, and I get to bed really late. And I forgot to set my timer. I got to bed at like 2 a.m. I aim to wake up around like 6:30 a.m. to get started streaming at 7 a.m. I mean, I'm 20 minutes late. Let's get that timer started. This is what Chex Party uses for a separate audio channel, but maybe it's possible in OBS or Streamlabs. It might be. I don't use Streamlabs. I do use OBS. With the Stream Elements plugin that I'm probably going to change for multicasting. VB Audio Web Shop. Oh yeah, cables. I think you could do it in OBS. For sure, you could probably very likely do it in OBS. Just have a different channel. And then I think you have to set it up in settings. Because that would also help if I'm like creating shorts. That'd be a lot more helpful. Hey, Unity Coder, I don't know if you were here when I was showing the Opus.clip product. I know you might have been lurking. But I gave it a try, and it was kind of interesting. But the biggest problem was that it gave me a week free trial, 7 days. It took me, like I think I did it Tuesday night, my time. And you get, for your free trial, you get 90 tokens. So that's like 90 minutes of processing. I threw in a whole VOD from like a week ago, and that's like 2 hours. And so I couldn't do the full VOD. I had to cut it to get 90 tokens. I think it did an okay job of like finding some potentially interesting clips, but I'm a little bit skeptical on like how good they are. And then the trial ran out before I had a chance to really do anything with it. And so I don't know what to do next, really. I got 60 minutes worth of tokens, I think, every month. But I'm just like, money-wise, like I don't even know if it makes sense, because it's $15 a month and you get like 300 tokens. I would chew through those like really, really quickly if I'm throwing VODs in there. And I don't think you could buy more tokens. I have a support case open, I could ask, but I really don't think you could buy more tokens. So I don't see how it works in my workflow if I want to take VODs and create shorts. But I feel like there are definitely more products out there that are doing this, because I feel like I've seen another one and I don't think it was this. I don't think it was Opus.clip or Opus Pro or whatever. It could have been something else. So thank you for the recommendation. I think it is like really, really interesting. I'm not sure how useful. So what I've been doing, my workflow has been, once the VOD is up on YouTube, it typically transcribes a transcript. You get a transcript out of your VOD, or out of all the videos that you put on YouTube. And so what I've been doing is I take that and I throw that into Claude or ChatGPT, and I say, hey, like, is there anything you think is interesting in here? And I could probably work on the prompt to maybe make it a little bit, to make it better. But yeah, that was my experience with it. I might try again. It's just, I'm a little bit frustrated that it like took so long to upload the video, and then they only gave me a week to work with it before deleting everything, which I really feel like is not enough time for a free trial. But there are definitely, hold on, let me, there's other products. So maybe I'm going to give like a few more a shot. And then there's all, yeah, let me see. Let me open up Firefox here. I think it wouldn't be that difficult to clone. Just add speech to text, feed those captions into AI to pick good topics. Then FFmpeg to clip the videos. Oh yeah. Oh, you mean like to clone like the app itself? So what I've been doing is I just do the editing myself in DaVinci Resolve, and when I was doing them more frequently on like every single, there's a time when like I was doing it after every VOD, I started to get into like a good routine, and I had a couple of good like tools that I was using to like get the auto cap. Like I use AI for captions. There's like a free tool for DaVinci Resolve. And I just like got into like a good rhythm. I know we're yapping a little bit. Hold on, let me rearrange. Some stuff here. So there's Clap, turn videos into viral shorts pricing. Upload 30 videos monthly. Full year quota of 360 uploads. 10 videos monthly. Up to 45, up to 2 hours. See, like 2 hour long videos, like it doesn't quite like meet my needs if I have longer videos, right? And $150 a month, like I don't know if it's worth it. It's just like way too, like the return. I don't think I have a return on investment for that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it helps me grow the stream. And so this is what I was looking at, right? So it's one pack. You have to buy multiple packs. So if I wanted to get more credits, I'd have to buy more packs. So it adds up so quickly. Bulk generate AI short videos, auto grow your channel. Start creating for free. Let's look at pricing. I think like the pricing is what's gonna like keep me from up to 90 faceless videos or 120 minutes of auto caption. Yeah, I don't want that. It's crazy. Wow. Okay. Faceless shorts. I don't want to create faceless shorts. AI short video generate viral short videos. Like I want like a clipper, you know what I mean? This is interesting. Like I saw something from Canva. Anyways. VOD to short clip AI. Reddit. I made this AI tool to help me find and edit short form video content from my clips and VODs. I love streaming. It's a lot of fun. What I don't find as fun is spending hours scrubbing through my VODs, ideating and editing down footage for clips for other content elsewhere. I do it because it's important for growth, but it's like a bad tasty medicine. Anyways, that led me to make this absolute unit of a scuffed AI agent that transforms your stream footage into short form content ideas, making it easier to discover and create content. As I said, it's scuffed, but if people are interested in something like this, I might refine it and make it public. Here's an example of some content ideas it gave me when I gave it one of my raw clips of me explaining League of Legends via MS Paint. All right, slow down there, Pirate Software. Wow, okay, it took the video. I mean, that's not so bad. Did he actually create it and make it public? This is 7 months ago. Nope. Oh, Op is dead. So I don't know. Maybe I keep researching it. I mean, everyone is like, you can do this. There's like so many videos that I probably created with AI to explain this shit. But I think I just keep, I mean, I'm going to keep doing it more manually by editing that stuff down myself and then just using AI to maybe help me scrub a transcript to come up with ideas. It's just, it's hard. I mean, it's time consuming for sure. And finding that time is definitely, finding that time is you got to make it, right? You got to make the time to do it. But I feel like there's, at least I have some momentum lately, which is good. Let me open up Unity, by the way. Okay, what's the problem? Unity doesn't want to open up. Let me move some things around here. I think it might be because sometimes when my hard drive is closer to the limit and then Steam tries to do an update with something, I end up with not a lot of room on my hard drive. But oh man, thank God for coffee today, because otherwise I would be an absolute zombie. I'm starting to feel alive. Slow going, but starting to feel alive. The Were Duck, how you doing? You've joined and we have a little bit of time, which is nice. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for hanging out. I should probably, what I should also do, I've been yapping so much, I should probably go on Discord and maybe let folks in Discord know that we are live. So the time to create VODs is, sorry, the time to create shorts out of VODs, like it takes time. You know, what I was doing when I was trying to pump them out more frequently earlier in this year, it was just like pretty much immediately after pretty much immediately after the stream, I would go and edit something down. And I think I was doing more sort of game updates, which were easier because they were like, they were, you know, I could record them in the stream to say, hey, here's what we worked on today, and then move on. And I should probably start doing that again, just for like Instagram and maybe even YouTube. but they're not, they don't, those things don't get viral, right? Like they're good for people who are maybe want to follow along to the updates on the game and like where it's at. But I feel like that is like, that's not going to get me new viewers. That's just for like existing viewers. And so I stopped doing it. Thank God and other divine beings for coffee. Absolutely. If it wasn't for coffee, I wouldn't be here. That's for sure. That sounds ominous. I would not, I'd probably be on stream, but I would be less capable. Yeah, this time I got notified, so I'm not missing anything. That's awesome. Thank you for the follow. I use Nexus Clips. Nexus Clips. Nexus Clips. Yeah. What's the pricing on that? Did I already see this? I think I did, right? There's Mr. Bean. AI for viral clips. So I think the problem I have is just pricing. It doesn't say what the pricing is. It doesn't say what pricing is. Interesting. Is it hidden somewhere? Is it going to make me sign in? Let me sign in real quick. Turn your videos into viral clips using AI. Make each clip uniquely yours. Schedule. Connect your YouTube account. Import your videos. Connect your Twitch account. I'll skip that for now. Pro AI powered $7 a month is a little bit more palatable. This time I got notified. I mean, edited shorts are working quite well for indie devs. I know edited shorts are working really well for indie devs, but they have to be interesting. They can't just be like, here's my update for today. At least it wasn't working for me. I feel like you have to have something that has a good hook that gets people to watch. At least when I was looking at like my analytics, the shorts for my stream that were finding any kind of viral success didn't have anything to do with like the update of the game. It was very much a clip with something interesting in it. I paid like $50 for a year. It takes straight away the stream and chops it up for you. It takes the stream, chops it up for you for clips that you can adjust. The only issue is that it's browser based and can be really janky at times. Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, you paid 50. I guess like it's maybe a little bit more expensive now, $90 for the year. This is a little bit more palatable, $7 a month. Unlimited processing minutes is also like, that is the first one that I've seen that has unlimited processing minutes and unlimited clips. Basic manual editor forever. Edit clips for TikTok manually with watermark. I mean, I'd rather do editing in DaVinci Resolve than use a browser based, but this is interesting. So AI content analysis for long videos, AI clip detection, AI powered TikTok editing, auto generated caption, scene transition detection, AI powered hashtag optimization, auto schedule posts. $20 monthly is like, $20 a month is a hard sell for me. But if it would actually grow my stream, I don't know. Does it help to grow the stream? I don't know. The only issue for the shorts, if you focus mostly on the gameplay and a bit of commentary, it works quite well. And you can use custom prompts to look for chopping up stuff. I might give this one a try. The unlimited processing minutes is the one that like is the feature here that like makes me happy, that sells me. Everything else that I tried had like a cap per month on minutes, which doesn't work for my workflow of taking like a 2 or 3 hour VOD twice a week and throwing it into here. But if I could throw a VOD in every single time like this, like that is pretty sweet. I might try. I wish they had like a free trial. Keep it free. Can I do keep it free? Basic. Do they have free trials? Nexus Clips. Nexus Clips free trial. Oh, the first thing I got was like a Reddit post that's like, Nexus Clips is bad, like real bad. Nexus Clips is bad, really bad. r.twitch, r/twitch. Okay, so many posts about Nexus Clips. I've seen so many posts about Nexus Clips in the subreddit. I will post my experience here as a warning. I also thought give it a try because you must pay, as there's no trial, but it failed badly. The clips generated from the footage were bad, often missing a few seconds from the beginning or end. You can't even manually edit them. That seems wrong. It seems like you have a bit of an editor. Is it only 15 seconds in length? Because that would be a little bit strange. I feel like I'd need like a short that's at least a minute. You can edit, but it's very limited. Okay. But the other thing is like how, if you can't edit it, right, can you like stack videos? Yeah, okay, even over 3 minutes clips. Yeah, this is like a wild post. I can't follow what he's saying. Eclipse.gg, Sizzle. Sizzle.gg is another one that I think I heard about. Sizzle.gg. They're all going to be expensive though, because like the cost to process video is high, and the cost for the AI is going to be high too. I mean, not telling me what the price is up front is a little annoying. Eclipse.gg. Sorry, we're going down a rabbit hole today. Because this is really interesting to me, because I do think that, I mean, I haven't seen growth in my stream through YouTube Shorts, but I feel like that is like a way to grow. What's the price? Oh, that's so frustrating. It does not make me want to use. Yes, Eclipse is free. You get AI generated highlights, 720 clips, up to 15 per stream, and 14 days storage at no cost. Upgrade to an annual plan. That's interesting. It's free. Because like the other thing for me is like, I'm actually not that bad with DR, with DaVinci Resolve. And so I feel like I can, if given like the timestamps of an idea, I could probably edit a video pretty quickly. So when I was using Opus.clips, like the one thing that I did notice is that it doesn't like automatically, shorten your VOD, or maybe it did. I think there was something that cut up your voice, like your audio, like to cut the dead space. Because when I'm talking on stream, and hopefully this isn't annoying because now it's going to make me self-conscious, but like I use a lot of filler words. Sometimes I do use a lot of filler words, and sometimes there's a lot of like dead space when I'm trying to think of like what is the next thing that I'm trying to say. And so when you're creating a short, you want to like just cut that empty space. You want to cut the filler words because like you want it to be moving. In my opinion, you want it to be moving pretty quickly. Where Duck, you're still learning it, still learning DaVinci Resolve. You're not seeing too much growth, but you went from 9 to 23 follows within 2 weeks. I mean, I think that could just be natural like growth on Twitch, right? Like you're not getting people coming over from YouTube and following your Twitch stream. I would think that you're getting followers just by streaming. Probably getting followers from like streaming, and like if you're jumping into other people's streams, then you're like, I followed you, right? Okay, well I might try this because it's free and that makes me happy. It couldn't hurt. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of the AI tech is going to be the same behind the scenes, and so the tech that you're getting, that you're probably, I mean, you're paying for that, and you're paying for just being able to process audio into a transcript. But you're really just mostly paying for a prompt and a web editor. I tried Sizzle and it's not bad. I found myself having to edit the clips anyways, but it's still nice for it to at least highlight moments, so I don't have to sit and go through my whole stream. Also, it has a free tier, which is useful. The games you can use on the free tier are limited though, so if you want true AI clip generation, you have to use the paid tier. Looking at Nexus Clips now. Hadn't heard anything about Clips before, so we'll check it out. I bought Nexus Clips and the product does not work properly at all. I went back and forth with their support for weeks while they gave me useless fixes that never solved anything. As soon as I asked for a refund, they ghosted me completely. They stalled long enough that I could no longer file a PayPal dispute. Why is this one hidden? I've been using Sizzle, and oh my god, it's good for YouTube content clips. And also, if you're lazy like me and play FPS games like COD or other stuff, it's worth it. The only issue I was having was if my VODs are over 4 hours, sometimes it clips more than 200 clips to download. What? I got Nexus Clips today, so I will update on how it goes 1 month later. Me when I lie. There's no image there, but... so there's some people complaining about Nexus Clips. I had someone report, I've been using Opus Clips so far, free version, and it worked out so far. Made like 10 shorts with nice titles, edits, etc. I posted them to my new YouTube gaming channel, and they all got a range of 400 to 6K views. 400 views isn't good. 6K is not bad. 400 is like every short gets like 400 to 1,000. I didn't do any work. Anyways, and it's free. Credits refresh monthly. But I get like 60 credits. It's not enough. And I think like the clips I'm looking for, and like not video game clips, I'm looking for interesting, like I'm looking for a hook in what I'm saying, right? Without me having to do any other editing. I'm still learning. Yeah, I used CapCut for some time, but after the TOS changed, what changed with CapCut? I get around 200 to 1.5K views. Yeah, that's so. At least on shorts, that sounds like it's a bit. That's normal. I think YouTube is always going to show your short to about 500 to 600 people. I think like you always see that bump because they're testing your short out, and if you don't get retention, then it stops, right? And if you have something that's a little more viral, something that has a bit more retention, I would say, or a little bit more watchability, like people stay and watch it, or you get more interaction on it, that's when you see a little bit more of a spike. So I've had most of my shorts, like they're at that 500, 600, whatever plateau. You got a spike, 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 and it stops, right? That's YouTube's algorithm, I think, testing every short out. It shows it to at least like it gives you at least 500 impressions each time, and then some just continue up. I've had a couple that just continue up. I had a few. I think I had one that went like did pretty well. Oops, wrong. There we go. Okay, we will get into some coding in a sec because I do want to make some progress here, but I find this really interesting. Oh, that's like really shitty. Okay, yeah, that's a not worth using. So let's see, I'm gonna pop back into Firefox. So I haven't had too many sort of pop. I only really had one that had a significant growth here. I guess I was in July. No? Okay. When was this? Uploaded. This was in March. Wow. Let's do March 31st. See, like it doesn't like shorts also, I feel like they don't last long, although this wasn't necessarily a viral one either. March 13th to 18. When did it stop? Probably pretty quickly, yeah. But you can see, like, if you look at most of my shorts that I've posted on YouTube, like they get like, let me go back. And sort. Wow, this one has 4. Oh yeah, so like I also noticed, like if you use the Twitch uploader, you get no views. So you have to upload it manually. I don't know why it's not sorting properly. This is really strange, but you can see like there's a couple like in the 2000 range that had these had a little bit more retention, and then everything else is like 5, 5, 5, 8, 5, 4, 7, right? And so I'm pretty sure that like that's the number they use to like test shorts. And if you use any music in CapCut and you don't own, and someone makes a copyright claim, then they make you responsible for the breach. That's fucked. Yeah, they sizzle quickly. That's why I do the entire week in one go for YouTube and TikTok, and then just forget about it. But yeah, it's gaming related to Dark Souls, which is quite a strong community. Yeah, that helps too. I think like obviously the community that I'm streaming to is quite niche. And so it is what it is. And like I've talked about this on stream like multiple times. At the end of the day, like this is one, it's a hobby. I think more than anything, what's more interesting to me is the actual game development stuff. than streaming. And I don't necessarily want to like blow up on streaming. Like I don't want to be like, I don't want to make it a career. I don't think I would enjoy being a streamer as a career to make money. And I think there's a couple of reasons why I don't like it, but I don't know how I would do with like a really large audience, quite frankly. Like I don't know if that is something that would make me happy. I still think it's a grind, because if your source of revenue is Twitch Primes or subscriptions from people, then that's a grind. Like it's hard because you need to go live and you need to stream and you need to stay interesting to keep the money flowing in, which feels very stressful. And then third, I do kind of feel icky about asking people for money. Now maybe I'd feel less icky about it if I was like really like I'm out of work and this is what I'm trying to do as work so I could pay rent, I could pay my mortgage. But right now, because this is a hobby and I already work, like I don't want your money. You know what I mean? Like it'd be cool if you use your Twitch Prime on me, but like it does feel weird when people like I don't know if I like asking for money. It definitely doesn't feel good, right? It's like, why would you give me money, right? That being said, like if I make a game and I sell the game, at least like I'm giving you something, right? And I guess you could say like this is entertainment, so I don't know, maybe I could be less self-conscious about that, but still it's like I think depending on that as like your revenue is it would be really tough for me. Like I look at like some of the bigger streamers, like a Kai Cenat who's doing like a subathon right now, and like that guy's rich and he's like still begging for money. He's still like trying to get like as many subs from people as possible, and he's like easily a millionaire, you know, and he's taking $5 here and there from random people who are not millionaires. So you know, there's something about it that feels a bit off. But the problem is my brain, the way that my brain works is when I am streaming, I do like seeing the numbers go up, right? I want to set goals for myself and I am trying to like get more people to watch my stream. And so that's hard too, because you want to see improvement over time. I mean, I mostly want to make a presence on content creation platforms to make a marketing venue for my dream game studio. Like that's my end goal. Yeah. And it's hard. And like the thing, WereDuck, is that to make that a reality, you have to put the reps in to, you know, to make it work. So to start streaming now and to start to work on some of that marketing, like that is like the first steps. Because in that road forward is probably filled with a mix of failures and successes. Right? It's very easy for us to get. It's very easy for people looking in from the outside to only see the successes of people, but what we don't see is the failures and the reps that people put in to get there. Right? The hard work. So if you want to be a streamer, you got to go on stream and you got to stream to 0 people. To start, like that's where everyone starts. Although I would say that if you are starting, you should probably tell your friends that you're streaming, so at least you get some other folks coming in to chat with you, because streaming to no one is freaking hard. It's tough. You like my attitude about it, but you do it for the love. That I do it for the love of the craft and do something on the side. Yeah. So this is like, I'm a director of engineering or software engineering for a company, and like I don't do a lot of coding in my day-to-day, and so this is like, it definitely fills the creative bucket for me, right? Being able to work on a game, being able to work on shorts, video editing, all that stuff. It's like, it's like a fun hobby that fills that creative void that I kind of don't get from work lately. Not to say that I don't like my job, I really do. It's just different. And they're different challenges, and this is very satisfying to work on. video games. And I am who I am. And so I'm looking at it like a 5-year plan. Yeah. Yeah, inviting friends and family just so you have like people talking and supporting you. I think that's really good. I mean, there's times even I have a bit of an audience lately, which is like really nice, right? This last year, I would say, like, and being more consistent is I have people coming in on a frequent basis, sometimes old, sometimes new. But when no one's chatting, it's hard. I mean, I guess maybe I get more done in the game, but it is damn hard. And I've been thinking about creating an AI bot that comes into your channel and just starts asking you questions so that you could talk, that like it would give me topics to talk about on stream. Because the thing about streaming is like, you have to be entertaining and you have to be talking. If you're quiet and not interesting, when someone clicks and like when someone sees your stream on the Discover page and they are just browsing looking for something new and they come into your stream and you're like dead quiet and not interesting, they're going to bounce immediately onto the next one. And so you have to be talking, you have to be entertaining. And that's really hard when there's no chat because you have no one to bounce ideas off of. You have no one to help you talk because it's more natural to talk to someone than it is to talk to the empty void of the camera. And then people see that, right, and they leave. And I came back to Twitch after 6. Okay, so you were streaming a bit, you left, now you're back. Yeah, I think you were talking about this, or someone was talking about, maybe it was you, maybe it was someone else. Obviously, like, if you have kids, I have kids too, right? Like, the time that it takes to be a parent doesn't always allow for streaming. Oh, excuse me for the yawn. I played hockey last night. I got to bed at like 2 a.m. and I'm trying to wake up early to get these streams in, which is hard to do. Okay, I don't even know. Did we ever run ads at some point? I'm gonna run some ads. I'm gonna like stretch my legs, and then we're gonna get into some game development. If you have a Twitch Prime, it's a great way to dodge the ads, and you can listen to some tunes while you're doing it. While we're through the ads. Obviously, if you're from a country where they don't serve ads, then you're pretty good. That seems to be a lot of my community. But let me run. I'm gonna do a 3-minute ad break, so I apologize. But we run ads so that there's no pre-rolls for new folks coming in. And like I said, if you have Twitch Prime, Twitch Primes don't roll over month after month. You lose that money. I'm not saying give it to me. I'm saying that if you have a Twitch Prime, just use it. Go look to see if you have it, and then go and use it today on someone so that you don't lose it. All right, I will be back. I don't know how long. It usually takes, sometimes it like rolls the ads pretty quick, sometimes it doesn't, so. All right, we're back. Thank you for hanging out through the break. That was fast. It didn't take too long. Not sure if everyone got ads or not, but you were in Grace with ads. Where are you located? Are you in? You're somewhere in Europe, yeah. All right, so where are we? Okay, so we get the first word. And then no other words. Okay. Okay. Do you see the entire word or just a sequence of letters? I see just a sequence of letters. Poland, yeah. Poland probably is not getting as many ads. I got that one wrong. So you'll see, I want there to be a large letter here, which opens up the meter for you to fill it by typing characters, which damages the boss. But it's got to go away. Oh, it does go away? Wait a second, what happened? Let me just double check here what's going on. Maybe I also open up typing stars boss level. I do have some notes for myself. So the sequencing is there should be a big word, which are different words, right? And during that point, the meter's hidden. Once you finish that word, it shows the meter. Hide meter and generate wall. So I think that's the part that's missing. We go right to the end. We don't fully hide the meter to when we generate that movement, and then we don't show it. So that's where we left off. Hide meter and generate wall, hide characters and generate wall. Yeah, those are the things that are missing right now. Hiding the characters and hiding the rest of the meter. Wouldn't it be better to, yeah, you know, it should have an outline. So here, it should look like this. So I don't think I've ever shown you the full game. It should look like this with a bit of an outline, right? So if you look here, it has that outline. What I want, once we fill it completely, I want it to go away. But I didn't properly hide everything else. I need to work on that now. But why don't I show you what we have so far? The title screen is scuffed. I need to work through making this better. I scrapped what it looked like before. Hold on, let me go maybe full screen. So this has to be reworked, and I want it to obviously look nicer, but it is what it is. Where I sort of scrapped it was I wanted to create a diegetic menu system. Before it was just like, it didn't really fit in with the theme of the game. So now it's like more of like a BIOS type of settings. And again, I need to make it look nice, but it's all wired up, which is the important part. So we have resolution, we have sound. Right, and you can go back. We do have a leaderboard. And you can see like sort of how that menu used to look with like just like random buttons that don't quite fit into the theme. So this has to be all worked over as well. Kind of nice to see that I have at least 30 people who have played the game, who have played the demo, which is kind of cool. And then it's just a bunch of typing mini games with some like world building and story built in. And so the goal is here to type the 3-letter, 4-letter, and 5-letter words as quickly as you can within the time that's allotted. You'll see in the top corner on the left-hand side, there's stars that are kind of showing you the progress that also end up acting as your health bar. And then you see on the right-hand side that there is some time ticking up. That's going to turn yellow at some point to kind of indicate that there is a bit of a time limit here to get this done. And then when you make a mistake, there's that big X and a counter at the bottom that is showing you the amount of mistypes that you make. And you will die. Not right now in the game, but you will die if you have too many of those as well. So there are some like end game states. Am I going to be able to beat this level? Because it is like a time limit. I forget what time limit I have set for myself here. Okay. And then it starts to open up a little bit of like the world. So you'll type in some sentences and it's maybe telling you that, okay, systems are critical. What does that mean on the ship? Maybe. Then we have this meter that you need to fill. As you see, life support systems are offline. You want to get those online. This is really, really slow and very easy. I feel like I made it easy for myself, but like if it starts to dip under, you start to die, right? So that is an end game state. You need to fill this bar for all the systems. I feel like I nerfed the difficulty, so I'm actually able to play it and demo it. It should be a little bit harder, but you can see that every single time it gets just a little bit harder to fill. Then there's this asteroid level, this asteroid minigame, which I think is like the one that looks the best with the little asteroids and like the animation. I think it just looks great. Right now, every time you get hit, you lose time. I might actually lose here. Let me just skip through the level. Then we have this movement game. So it's like you got to quickly type. This I can't do and multitask, but you have to like type. I can't do it. But you see in the top left-hand side, you're losing health every time you get hit a wall. And you make progress on the right-hand side every time you succeed through a gate. Then I had this idea of like having a bit of a decision here that brings you then to the boss level, which again starts to reveal a little bit more of the story, and it's a bit of mixing all the elements together with the meter, and there's asteroids that will come at you at a certain amount of time, and when you do damage, it will throw a gate at you that you have to move through. So it should be adding all those elements, and that's what we have. That is the game. And so I feel like I'm close to having something finished. It's just a matter of like all polishing all the edges around the corners here. I wasn't looking at chat because I definitely cannot multitask a demo and chat at the same time. So let me catch up while I open up the other scene. And this is what it used to look like. I have this old scene that has like old graphics. I think it's just the asteroid level. This is like a prototype of the asteroid level, but definitely looks different, yeah? I like the retro vibe to it. I mean, it looks really cool, but I think the pink letters are a bit hard to see in a stressful situation. Interesting, okay. Amazing, a tutorial implementing any and all mechanics. A tutorial implementing any and all mechanics that are used. It would be amazing to have a tutorial. I think if anything, like the first couple of rounds are just super easy to ease you into like what's happening. That's sort of the goal. So like on that movement one, it's just to make it clear like what's happening. There's like it's like left, right are the first like pair of words of opposites. And it's like really, really slow, right? So it should be kind of clear. Still not sure what you mean by the tutorial is amazing. I don't think I have a tutorial, but I'm happy that like, yeah. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do because it's actually could be hard. Typing is hard for some people. But like speaking of like making time, like I haven't looked at this since our stream on Monday, and it's not because I don't want to. I left the stream on Monday like very excited to keep working, and time is short for hobby game development. It's hard to find that time. It's hard to make that time, especially if you're working a full-time job, especially if you're a parent and you have other responsibilities in your life. It can feel sometimes like you're not making any progress, but it's important to remember that any progress is progress as long as it's somewhat consistent. So we are slowly making progress. We've been working on this for a little bit, but we are slowly making that progress. One of the best things in level design is implementing a mechanic and straight away using it to engage the players to test what they learned. Yeah, it's very difficult to make it organic and not feeling forced. Yes, yeah, some of the best games that exist, they just throw you into the world and they slowly reveal the mechanics through gameplay. Some of the worst games, or maybe not the worst games, but like the less entertaining ones, because there are probably still some good games in the second category, but they're the ones that like have like a big text block, or they stop the gameplay and say, hey, press A to jump or press control to crouch. And I feel like that's just like it just breaks the fourth wall a little bit, and it takes you out of like it's a very obvious tutorial. Obviously, if you're a gamer, you're quite aware of tutorial levels, but the best ones do it without having to do that. They just show you and gradually introduce new things to you throughout the game, throughout the level. Have walls of text, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of like first person, third person games, maybe less so lately, but like you'll have that tutorial level. Like Helldivers, well actually Helldivers is maybe like an example of where they have like a pretty good tutorial, but it's a very clear tutorial, right? It's like telling you what buttons to press and stuff like that. In Helldivers, it kind of makes sense that it's because it's less of a discovery. You want to be dropped into a setting where you kind of know how to do all the things. Otherwise, you get obliterated. But you can look at like something like Celeste, right? That's like gradually introducing new things without having to tell you how it works. And you're just learning by doing, and it's getting harder and harder as you go, right? And you just get better at like the techniques that you're learning as you go. Yeah, I thought I do think the Helldivers tutorial is like, it's funny and it's pretty good. I don't have a game in mind, but like I am thinking of like just like older first person shooter games where you're just like, the first like level is like you're going down like a corridor, and here's like a door that's like half opened, and it's just like it stops everything, game paused with like a press control to crouch, and you're like, okay. And then like there's like something on the floor, and it's like press shift to run and leap over this thing, and it stops you. It's just like, oh, that's like so lame. And it's like not even like a tutorial, but it's like it's the first level of the game, and so you have to go through it, and you're just like, yeah, I know how to play a fucking first person shooter, like let me just get at it, right? I could probably discover this on my own because I have experience of like, I know what the controls are very likely to be. But then you have to remember that a game like Medal of Honor is probably also getting a bunch of people who've maybe never played a first-person shooter before, or are not very good at video games. Dark Souls doesn't show you shit. Dark Souls is brutal as hell. It does not give a F about you. Yeah, but Metroid had it done by animations and examples. I never really played Metroid, so I'm not a good... That's not one that comes to mind. So speaking of my excitement to like work on this stuff, like my word manager class is an absolute gong show, but I asked the AI to like propose a solution on how it could fix things. And it gave me I didn't even look at this, but it did give me a report on how it would go about refactoring it. Where is that file? It's very nice of them to give me an executive summary. I know that, you know, I'm a bit dumb. I would like a different view though. I don't want a diff view. Can I just open the file? The word manager class has grown to 766 lines and violates the single responsibility principle by handling multiple concerns, including word management, level-specific rendering logic, input processing, audio management, and game object lifecycle management. This document outlines a comprehensive refactoring plan to break down this monolithic class into focused, maintainable components. Why, thank you. Word list management, loading and managing word lists for different levels, input processing, level-specific rendering, draw words in different positions, audio management, game object lifecycle, creating, updating, destroying words and asteroids. Yeah, it's become quite a bit of a monolithic. And one of the biggest smells for me in this class, I know we talked about it last time on stream, but in some areas here, like this one, for example, handles success letter input. It is a little bit different for every single level. And like a very obvious like smell in code development, software development is like if you have a bunch of these like if else statements that are implementing a method a different way based on like a different state. It's a very clear example of like where this should be maybe separated into a more object oriented way of like having a parent and implementing classes. Yeah, exactly. And Naughty Matty going against solid principles is very disgraceful. especially as someone who has a team of 26 or 27 people under me that rely on my ability to ship good code. I'm allowed to be a little bit naughty though, because this is a side project and it is game development. And this is sometimes what happens in game development. Just things continue to grow as you add and add and add. But it is important to follow proper principles. Because this is a very clear example of like where it starts to become very, very painful. Because I'm trying to do something now and it is very hard for me to like, it takes way more time than it should for me to make changes in this level because the code is so convoluted. But the thing is, like, at the same time, like I have gone through a couple of rounds of refactoring and then it just blows up again. But the difference for me in my mind, and I will probably try to implement some of these changes, is I'll probably get the AI to do it because that would make my life a lot easier. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like it's not like I have to like maintain this code for the rest of my life. Like I will release this game and then probably never look at this again. And so how worth it is a proper refactor, but what's important is following those principles at the very beginning, because it just gets harder and harder to add on top of bad code. It gets hard to troubleshoot. It gets hard to add, and then it starts sucking away time as you try to like change things or add onto it even more, or try to fix something that doesn't work. Like now, like it's just such a big class that like I don't even know where to start, which is bad, right? Like that's not good. So bad code is not too bad in game dev, but you need to at least think of scalability. Yeah, and like the thing is, first of all, Fullbox, good to see you. Thank you for hanging out. I think in my mind, what happens in game dev for me is games usually start off with like a proof of concept, right? And you're really not thinking about scalability at that point. You're kind of thinking about how do I get the things that are in my mind into code and working so that I could explore, is this an interesting concept or not, right? And so probably most game development or most projects start off in that state where it's like, I'm just hacking things together because I want to see if it works. And I want to see if it's fun, and I want to see if it's something that I want to do more of, right? Or it's like a game jam idea or something like that, and you're just hammering code and trying to make it work as best as possible. And then it turns into a project, and then now your foundation is already it's not a great foundation that you have to then build on. And so it's probably, I mean, there's two things. One, it's experience of like setting up that foundation even when you're prototyping. And two, maybe making the decision that, okay, I'm going to turn this into a project. Now's the time to take a moment and create that foundation out of the mess that I started with. But yeah, the thing that's like, it's just a struggle now to like add an extra thing or change an extra thing. Like, man, I used to work with some big dev studios. The spaghetti code is too strong. I could only imagine. I mean, oh man, I could only imagine. And Haripon, good to see you, buddy. You're definitely not first, but you're the one that knows about the first reward. I can only imagine, like, the software that I work on a day-to-day is like hundreds of thousands of lines. It's like truly enterprise level software with a lot of code. But it's actually the foundation I think is really good. Like there's obviously areas where there's room for improvement, and we continue to like make those changes. Thank God we have like an absolutely amazing staff engineer who continues to like just set us on the right path. But yeah, I can only imagine what like a big indie studio looks like. I mean, you look at some games like Undertale, and like isn't Undertale like all like all the dialogue is like one file and just like a ton of if else statements. Like it's absolutely wild how some games are probably built. You would think that like a large studio like an Electronic Arts has their shit together too, but they're also moving at like blazing fast speeds that who knows what it looks like. I used to work on F76. So yeah, what's F76? I push the button, I win first no matter what. At Maripon, you do win. You absolutely win. That's how it works. F76. Oh, Fallout. Oh, that's fucking cool, dude. There was a time where I probably dreamed of working at Bethesda. But again, I don't know how well I would fare in a world of AAA games. Okay, so I have an event on a boss level hide meter. This is where this class continues to grow. I will try to refactor. I am not in the mind space to do it now. You are QA there. Yeah, I can only imagine what it's like being QA on a Bethesda game. You poor soul. I mean, tell me more. I want to know more. I mean, those games are already full of bugs, and I know it's not the fault of the QA team, who are probably much smaller than the dev team. The dev team's probably pumping out so much stuff, and it's hard for the QA team to probably keep up with. And then the timelines are just so short that you guys get effed all the time. I'm pretty sure when it comes to timelines, they're probably like, you're probably reporting bugs and they're just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, we're not fixing it. Thanks for finding it, QA. And then those open world games just in and of themselves, I bet, are just like, that's probably tough. I mean, lots of anecdotes, but yeah, it's probably under an NDA. Does your NDA expire at any point? Probably not, I guess, huh? Yeah, and all the players are upset with QA. Players should never be upset with QA. Players should be upset with management, and maybe the devs for, no, probably management, because even the devs are like, they're just like under so much stress to deliver. Then you read the comment online and you're just like, yeah, you knew about that. You reported it, but you had to ship yesterday, so they just shipped it with the bug. It's tough. especially because like like the sole role of QA is quality, right? Like as a developer, obviously we want to build stuff with quality too, but like our main function is to deliver on functionality, right? And so that's like the thing that we're judged against. We're not always judged against the quality of the shippable thing, but the amount or what we're actually shipping. That's the expectation, right? But on QA, the main expectation is that what we ship is of high quality. And so you bear a lot of that on your shoulder. And then in an environment where they don't care about that, can only be very frustrating, or there's not enough time for that, or there's not enough of a team for that, or whatever it is. So like at work for us, in my opinion, I talk about this all the time with my team, but quality is everyone's responsibility, from our product managers from our product managers across to our QAs. At every point in the life cycle of building something new for our customers is an opportunity for us to like think of the quality of the thing that we're building, right? And so for our product managers, when they're writing user stories or acceptance criteria, like that's an opportunity to find holes in to find potential bugs, to find mistakes, to find gaps in what we're trying to build, right? Obviously, once it goes from product managers to our developers, it's absolutely up to our developers to build something that's of high quality, that's like tested, that they've tested it at the very least manually. They've created automation tests around it so that it hardens the things that we're building. And that they don't just throw something to the QA team over the wall, but they actually collaborate with QA to like show them what they built. Maybe work with the QA to find things immediately that they can fix, and to really like collaborate with that QA team, right? Because developers are the ones that are touching the code. They know they know most about what was built, what are the potential regression or impact areas of what has been built, what's been changed. And so I think a lot of quality should land on the dev, but again, they're always like singularly focused on delivering and building, and less focused on the quality of the thing. But anyways, if you talk about it enough, you hope that like it instills a bit of that responsibility. And then obviously QA is like that final sort of check to make sure that, hey, what we have delivered does work. But I do like an environment where QA is like, they're operating as like consultants and working on really complex things, and like driving process and helping to teach or show other people how to test, versus just being like rote machines that are constantly doing regression testing or something through test cases. I thought it was fuck QA. No, that's not true. Oh, FQA. I'm looking backwards. First of all, thank you for the follow, YY Neko. Appreciate it. Hope to see you around. You can talk about stuff, just not that's only in the public domain. Yeah. My official job title was FQA. Yeah, functional QA. But no, it's not the Q. Yeah, no. It depends on the QA way of testing, like white box testing, which is the testers have access to code for pointing out possible solutions. Yeah. I was just talking about this. I have worked in small enough teams. I've worked in small enough teams so far that we don't have much QA or even code testing. We are not programmers, but end up doing some for piping, modifying data on the fly. The onion, that onion. Howdy. Why are you the same color as the wereduck? It makes it very complicated for me to see that in chat. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I mean, I think like if I were to do a startup again, I think I would always have a QA on staff. But I don't want them like just doing testing. I want them to like drive the discussion on what our developers need to test, right? Our developers could write a ton of like unit tests and integration tests, and other people can manually test in the absence of automation. But I would want our QAs to inform on what we are testing, right? Inform on our process, inform on how to approach it, and to really help the developers like look at the product from the lens of the person, of the customer, right? Of the user. That onion, you are welcome. Happy to have you back. I know that you followed. I think you joined us on Monday. Your color is now red, which is super helpful. The where duck, yeah, but there still is not enough time in the world to make enough tests. No, there isn't. And there's always going to be the push and pull of a business where you have to deliver something by a certain time, right? So there's always going to be constraints in like what you can and cannot do. I kind of always look at it as like we have like levers that we can pull, right? Like we can deliver faster, but the quality of that might suffer, right? So are we making that conscious decision that we are going to ram a bunch of stuff through to the customer? And are we okay with the consequences that A, it might not be as good as we'd want it to be, 2, that it might be faulty and cause a bug, which is going to slow us down in the long run, because then we have to stop and fix that thing immediately. Which is like, we might as well have just spent the time early on to do it right the first time around, right? I think that's the hard thing that a lot of businesses don't see. They're like, yeah, deliver, but they don't see the cost down the road. Like if I build 2 things at low quality on Monday, but on Friday, one of those things breaks that requires me to stop everything and fix it, I might as well have spent, like I've just spent 2 days working on that one thing, right? But I spent Monday and Friday, but there's still 2 days. I might as well have spent Monday and Tuesday making sure that what I built works, and then carry on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on other stuff, right? I'm still spending 2 days to develop something, but the quality was higher and it got done right the first time around, right? But like, I mean, I think a lot of people like have a hard time of like conceptualizing that idea, right? And then if you scale that up, right? 25, 26 developers all working on slightly different things. Like for you to be efficient requires a high quality of product. Because if you're fixing the things that are broken, that is making you less efficient. It's making you do less. Even though it might seem like you're moving fast, you're really not, because you're slowing down every time you have to stop and fix something, right? So I try to like hammer that into like people all the time, from developers and QA even to management, at every single moment, where I'm just like, hey, we could do things right, or efficiency, it's like worth investing in like the things that make the quality of the product high, because it actually makes us move a lot faster. It allows us to scale better. It kind of shifts the mentality of like, worry less about building something and look at it as like shipping something, right? Like how efficiently can we ship something without it causing problems that we have to do like rework, right? In DevOps, we believe in health checks above all. Tell me more about health checks. Wait, is that like what is that? A cool cat? I do like DevOps though. A good QA engineer will be able to see potential bottlenecks or other problematic stuff, even in the UX UI. Yeah, and like a really good QA engineer, like I think they're really good at empathy for the user, right? Like they really do a good job. Like a good one will really kind of build that within the team, build that empathy for the user within the team. Devs are sometimes, they're like
They're too abstracted from the persona. Like the entire concept of bugs in software engineer was the base of my engineering thesis. I based it a lot on Robert Martin's book, Clean Code. Yep. And I loved his idea on how to check if the code is good. Amount of what the fuck, 2 lines of code. Yeah. I'm feeling that what the fuck moment in my code base right now. Okay, that is not right. This is like a, hold on, this is a what the fuck piece of line, but I mean, I have Code Complete in my library of books, but it's one of those books that like I kind of open up and read a random chapter every so often. I'm like, oh yeah, it's like super helpful. And the more experience and perspective I get, I always kind of come away with something different. I think I do that with a lot of books on software engineering. Like what I read when I was like a first year developer versus someone who's been doing this for 20 years is a lot different. Which is why I don't look at my code base, because it's it's not so good. For this game. Please try to ignore. You don't see the code that I'm showing you. Fullbox, I don't know if you're still lurking. Is it just because you go live at 9, right? So that's why you're able to hang out with us today? Or are you taking a bit of time off on Twitch streaming? Okay, so I think we have accomplished this part. Hide meter and generate wall. Hide characters and generate wall. We've done those 2 things, but we need to now do this one. After passing a gate or hitting a wall, show another main word. I hold my head because I know that I'm making this worse. Handle and wall miss boss level. What is handle and wall miss boss? Destroy room. I'm just checking this now. I don't think this is going to work. In container world, health checks are just scripts that confirm a service is working as expected. Say if my service is a data broker, I can make a health check to send data through it once a minute. If that fails, I get a warning. So while I do not code test, I monitor systems constantly. And often in container world, if container is not healthy, it is simply restarted. Yeah. And then you probably have like a failover as well, or you have like maybe multiple services here, or like a backup that you could flip to while you restart one of them, right? So there's no real downtime. But yeah, that makes total sense for like a DevOps team. You're testing, you have like automated tests on the systems that are probably in production, right? And you probably also have like other types of monitoring, like response time of requests, perhaps, right? And you might have a threshold that you're looking at that you might report on to say, okay, that's weird that like the average response time of requests is all of a sudden spiking or getting larger, right? Which again might just be simply, hey, I could get ahead of this and restart it. I mean, it's these are all the things that go into making something work in production, right? There's a lot of teams helping to make it work. Sorry, excuse the yawn. I played hockey. I went to bed at like 2 a.m. So thank God for coffee that's making me awake. On wall miss. Increment walls completed. Walls completed. On gate convolution. Why did I call it on wall miss? What a terrible name. Hold on, am I maybe invoking this elsewhere? On wall miss. On wall miss. On wall completed boss level. a lot of things to think about in production, and that's why we have DevOps. But DevOps also has dev in it, right? So that's why we track our change failure rates and things like our cycle time to really build an efficient machine from start to finish. Well, shit, guys, I am out of time. I appreciate you all hanging out with me today. We definitely yapped a whole lot. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it because the alternative is that I stream to no one, and it's incredibly sad. But I need to get to work. Speaking of work, I need to get to work. We didn't get a whole lot done today. But like I said, we had a good time today, I think, at the end of the day. I feel like I want to leave this in a better spot, but I really can't go over. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for being here. Who should we go raid? Is there anyone that you guys want to watch today? There's not a lot of people on my there's not a lot of people on my follow list that are streaming today. What's going on? Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was fun, Weird Dog. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for I'm glad that you found my stream. And that you wanted to come back and hang out. We're looking for someone to raid. This caught my eye. What is happening? What is he? What is this? Oh, he's just setting. That's just he's wiring something up. We'll find someone else. Level design boss fighting. That seems like that's thematic to what we've been working on.
Kept dying, right? That's fine. I don't mind that. What I don't like is just wandering around aimlessly and being lost. I fucking hate that. That's fucked.
Not as exciting though. Okay. Do you guys like React content? I'm not a big fan. Let's find someone actually working on something, yeah? Wow, that's crazy. It drops off. This category drops off pretty quick. There I am with 3 viewers. That's not very low. There's a lot of streams with just like a couple of viewers in this category. That is kind of wild. Dead Chivalry game developer, level design, level 6 development.
Make complex shape of, like, example, a shape of a car as like their hitbox and their collision. So like you can actually go on the back of this pickup truck, that sort of thing.
I'm sorry that you guys have to watch me try to find someone, but we're gonna try to find someone. Custom engine coding, that could be interesting. I want to find someone interesting to like send you guys to,
Yeah.
right?
Make the renderer work on that instead. Okay, we'll try that. We'll try that approach first.
Introducing Samra Origins.
Ads. We'll wait for the ads to finish. Well, guys, I hope that you all are going to do the things you need to do today. That you're going to be productive. If you're working on game development, that you're going to also do something towards your game, even if it's something small. I'm just going to wait for these ads to finish, and then we're going to jump into... I think we're going to rate this guy. He seems pretty chill. Lazy Ben Games. He's only got 2 views. It's crazy how quickly the category drops off. There's not a lot of like viewers in this category today. What's going on? What's happening? I know it's like Thursday, just like not a good day to stream. Feels like it's been good on this side. Feels like I've had a few people come on in, which has been nice. Alrighty. I'm out of here. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you all so very much. I will see you next week. And join the Discord, because I think we're going to be posting... I'm going to be posting a lot more updates over there as we gear up to release this game once and for all. Alrighty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you guys around. See you guys next week. I'll be here on Monday. Tuesday? No, I'll be here on Monday. Alrighty. I'm out. Bye now.
Is that it? Hey, thanks for the raid. It's Flannelbeard. What a mint username. Hope you're alright, guys. Howdy. Edge working on a little bit of editor code at the moment. So I'll show you. I'll try and show you. I can. Just go back.